What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing the series between the Denver Nuggets and Minnesota Timberwolves. And man, what a series, to say the least. I mean, from the onset, before the series actually started, once the matchup came out that the Nuggets, after beating the Lakers, would ultimately face the Minnesota Timberwolves after they absolutely bludgeoned the Phoenix Suns, it was pretty much, who wanted it more in this particular series. I did have the Denver Nuggets winning this series versus the Minnesota Timberwolves going into it in a preview. And in the beginning, it looked like the Nuggets had nothing. I mean, yes, they had MVP Joker. They had, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, former last year's champions. And just on the first two games, they looked completely out of whack. They looked completely outclassed. I mean, the Timberwolves looked like the hungrier team, so to speak, no pun intended, Wolves or whatever. But, you looked at the play of Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert. The list goes on. Naz Reid, especially, who was a big X factor for them, especially in the first two games, before going on the road. I thought the Nuggets, and a lot of analysts thought the Nuggets were out of it. I really didn't see what took place as the series winded down. The series shifted to Denver after the first two games. Well, excuse me. The series shifted to Minnesota after the first two games. And you've seen the Denver Nugget team show their championship morale. Plays from Joker, plays from Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon. And that's what you ask for from, again, like I said, a former champion. You don't want to see them lay down. You don't want to see them give up. You want to see them go out there and give 110%, because this is the playoffs. There is no tomorrow, so to speak. I mean, this is a series. But when you look at the first two games and you look at how the Nuggets played, and you look at losing by 26, then ultimately the Denver Nuggets hand them two losses in a row. Oh, excuse me, three losses in a row, and then a very, very pivotal game 6. Honestly, when I knew game 6 was going to be a big deal, because Anthony Edwards was speaking to the fans and telling people, listen, we're going to see y'all back in Denver. And that they did by beating them 70-115. I mean, an absolute embarrassment if you are the Denver Nuggets. And in game 7, Coach Malone spoke to, just getting the troops riled up and things like that. And that's what they did in game 7. They came out first half. Jamal Murray put on a clinic. But the Wolves stayed in the game, especially in the second half. And like I said, their leader, Anthony Edwards, who a lot of people think is becoming that, and by that I mean the face of the league as we look at the younger stars. But he was the one leading the charge for them, especially in the second half, just telling his guys, stay in the game. Stay in the game. We're right there. Stay in the game. Along with the coaching staff. But that's what they did. And you've seen them just stay in the game. Whether it was Naz Reid, whether it was McDaniels, who hit a few big threes, Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert. And I think Joker's gas tank kind of got the best of him, because he did grab 15 rebounds in the first half, so he was crashing the boards a lot. But, to no avail. I think what the Denver Nuggets lacked in this series, especially in Game 7, was the shooting of Michael Porter Jr. and also Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. That their three-point shooting was just non-existent, and you need that against a team who just absolutely smothers you like the Minnesota Timberwolves, because when it's time for them to ramp it up, especially in you've seen that in the first 2 games of the series and later on in the series, how their defense is so suffocating when they're able to just lock in defensively, and you got Anthony Edwards and McDaniels right there on you, and it becomes a lot if you're guards. But again, like I said, for the Minnesota Timberwolves to ultimately pull out that win in Game 7 on the road versus a very, very tough opponent, last year's champion, just proves to me that they're ready. If they haven't proven it in the first 2 rounds, they've proven it to not only just me, but I think national media as well, because you go out there and you absolutely, prove that you're leaps and bounds better than a very talented Phoenix Suns team. Then you go out there in the second round and you prove to be better than last year's champion. So if you are the Minnesota Timberwolves, you have a lot of confidence going into this next round series versus the Dallas Mavericks. I'm definitely going to do a preview video on that next series, but when you look at how the Timberwolves handle business after being down so many points in the latter stages of this basketball game, especially to come out after being, down double digits and just stay in the game, stay the course. And I feel like the Nuggets, they could have, showed improve. I'm not going to put the blame just on one guy. I'm not going to say what Porter Jr. didn't do, what KCP didn't do. But at the same time, I feel like not having a guy like a Bruce Brown definitely showed in this series. Not having enough bench production from guys like Brown, Wallace. You look at Reggie Jackson. DeAndre Jordan doesn't get any playing time, so he doesn't really count when I speak to the bench. But if you are a fan of the Denver Nuggets, don't worry. I'm definitely going to do a video on what I think they should do going into next season. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Minnesota Timberwolves fans, Denver Nuggets fans, NBA fans, basketball fans, or if this is just your first time tuning into this channel, please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I catch you guys on the next video.